to be more people like you.
Hello, I'm Joy and you're watching Joy's World. Now this is a very interesting program because we have such wonderful people coming on, and today there's somebody very special. If you are an avid TVS watcher, and I know a lot of you are, you will have seen this lovely lady on Conversations with Robyn. And I'm quite honoured to have Robyn herself as my guest, and I am going to have a conversation with Robyn. Hello, Robyn.
Hi, Joy. How are you? And thank you so much.
It's lovely to have you here.
Absolutely lovely to be here.
Now, you have a very, very special program. It's quite different to mine. Mine's a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and it's all higgledy-piggledy sometimes, but that is like me. I'm a real higgledy-piggledy person, so I get all sorts of people. But every now and then I have somebody really special, and I consider you to be extremely special because the people on your show always have something very, very strong and very spiritual to talk about, because your show is really about peace and love, and tell us about it.
Okay, I guess the concept of the show was a 17-year dream, and it was in having watched the Donahues, the Donahues show all those years ago,
yeah.
And Oprah when she first started out. And when I was watching those all those years ago, there was a part of me that went, I would love to have a program like that, to have people on, because Oprah used to do a lot of spiritual type shows back then. And for me it was about having a similar sort of show as she had then, providing that platform for people who really are doing positive change work in the world. It does have a spiritual bent, a personal transformation. It does also have people on that are doing some great work in the community, whether it's helping young kids or people that have been in and out of jail or whatever. So it's a bit of a... But yeah, it's about bringing love and understanding, which is a bit warm and fuzzy, but...
Well, no, I've seen some of your programs. Unfortunately, I'm around and about so much, I don't always get to see it. But the ones I've seen, I've been riveted. I really, really think you get fantastic people there. And you've always got something really important to say that would I imagine, touch a lot of people. And what do you do yourself? How did you get to where you are now? What's your journey?
My journey, wow. Well, people can actually go on the show website and see my little bio, but
yes.
Gosh, I pretty much began my working career in the advertising agency industry.
Oh, really?
Oh,
which one are you allowed to say?
Yeah, started off with J. Walter Thompson.
Oh, really?
Yep.
They're big, yeah.
They maybe not as big back then. We're going back a lot of years. No, sorry, I started off with George Patterson and then
George,
JWT.
yeah,
Yep.
yes.
And then with Doyle Dane Bernbach. And it was in my early 30s that I started to really get this idea of, I truly want to make a difference. I always thought I'd make a difference as a writer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I always thought I could hide behind a typewriter, which was typewriters back then. We're talking a few years ago.
Yes.
And in that journey, I ended up selling my house in Sydney at the age of 33, and I moved to Queensland.
Oh.
And I had two very clear aims in mind. It was discover more of who I was and to start writing. And it was in that journey that a number of years later I was led to the Hyatt Regency at Coolum in their outdoor corporate team building department. And that's where I started being trained as an upfront presenter and facilitator. Came back to Sydney a number of years later, and in that journey, I guess, there's a saying about life's what happens when we're busy making plans. And for me, the plan was to write. However, as I say, as in that journey, it then took me up into an upfront type role. And of course, in that time, that's when the idea of the show was born, and came back to Sydney, and TVS went back on air, was looking for programs, and had the opportunity of doing Conversations with Robyn.
And
So, yeah.
it's been very successful indeed. How many shows have you done so far?
Filmed 41, about to film another 4. And can I actually just take this opportunity to thank this amazing lady here, because in the first, maybe, 8, 10 filmings of Conversations with Robyn, we actually were able to use your monitors.
Oh.
So we actually, you know, you were a great part in assisting us with the equipment, and where you helped, where we all filmed at one stage at
That's
South.
nice. That's good.
So thank you.
We like to help if we can. But there are a lot of people on air that I've actually encouraged to get going, because some people couldn't believe that I meant it when I said, yeah, you can do your own show. I've seen some of your work and I know you can do it. And a lot of them have gone ahead and done it, and others have fallen by the wayside, of course, as you do, because it's not easy getting out a weekly program, is it?
It's challenging.
Whew.
And the amazing crew that volunteer their time, their energy, their expertise, and editors, you know, that's a big part of the process.
Yes, yes, the editors. That's a very difficult thing. I've been learning to do it myself, but haven't quite mastered it, but I'm getting there.
10 points to you for having a go.
Oh, well, that's been my motto for many years, having a go. Yes, so do you do anything now besides Conversation with Robins? Don't you have some kind of program where you train people still?
I do have a training business and have done for quite a number of years. I've worked with corporations, small businesses, a lot with people long-term unemployed in a group setting, personal development, team building. I guess the show, though, has taken up a lot more of my time, because, as you say, it's, you know, it's pretty much a weekly event. But yeah, I don't do as much training as I'd like. I really enjoy being in a training room with people and just have that whole synergy and that personal development, team building happen.
Yes, that's an absolutely important thing to do. I have some people here that I train, not actually train, but allow them to have hands-on experience by doing the program, and some of them are training them at TAFE, and others have already been trained and just want the experience, and they do it for fun, the same as I do. It's my hobby, and I love writing too. And are you planning to write a book, or have you started one? Or
I wrote a couple of books years ago when I first, moved to Queensland. Nothing printed yet. I kind of figured that will probably happen as the show gets out there. Because the idea of the show was always to get it internationally. Yes. And as you were saying, some of the guests we've had on recently, huge names in the personal development, spiritual field. Your Neil Donald Walsh's, your Dr. D. Martini from The Secret. Yes. Bruce Lipton's, Greg Braden's. We're going to be interviewing Caroline Mace, and it's just blows me out that it's like the show absolutely has an energy of its own. It knows where it wants to go, and I just kind of have to step out of the way and let it have its head, so to speak.
This is really terrific. Well, look, we have enjoyed so much having Robyn on the show, and don't forget, watch Conversations with Robyn. When are you on?
Well, we're actually on in Sydney, Melbourne and Adelaide. And if people actually go onto the show website, www.conversationswithrobyn.com, this is a commercial, they can actually click into the on-air and they can see the different times for each of the stations and what guests are on, etc.
But in Sydney?
In Sydney at the moment, it's Tuesday night at 8:30 and then repeated on Thursday at 1 a.m. and at 12:30 lunchtime. On the Thursday. It's 3 times a week.
No excuse to miss it.
Absolutely not.
Thank you so much for coming.
Joy, thank
really
you.
Lovely.
You truly are the matriarch of community TV in Sydney.
Only because I'm so old.
Oh no, it's more than that.
Thanks a lot.
She really is.
Okay,
Thank you.
Now let's get on with the show.